Good day, one and all. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Remember to hit those like, comment, and subscribe buttons. Also, there's a new Discord that you can join. Knock yourself out, enjoy. It is brand new. I wanted to get used to building a Discord, but less about that because that's not why we're here today, is it? It's not why we're here. Now, in this second episode, I want to talk about society expects. So, as a society, we are expected to care for people, and whether right or wrong, we do or we don't, and that's absolutely fine. Mental health is a very difficult subject to care for people with because it's a hard topic, because it's hard to get your head around because it's invisible. Um, so I wanted to take a look at some of the things that asked and really how much do people actually want to know the answer to something? Because if you're suffering with a mental health issue and your mental well-being is poor, if someone asks you how you are, you might respond in a way that they don't like. And I think it's interesting to have a look at. We have a generalized list of questions that we ask people all of the time. Now, these are like, what have you been up to? Now, if I was to respond with, well, I woke up, I took my tablets, I had a shit, I had a shave, I had breakfast, and I fed the kids, you'd be like, oh, I didn't really need to know all that. It doesn't really interest me, that much information. And that's absolutely fine because you was probably only asking to be polite. You don't really want to know what somebody's been up to. I guess when I like that. I like the question because I like to know those ins and outs. Probably not having the shit, but what did you have for breakfast? It gives you extra places to take a conversation. They want some standout, vague details at best for most people. So what do you do? Is another one. If you answered with, I data input user files into a database that allows and spiel off everything that you do in work, they won't be interested because they don't want to know that. Oh, I'm a data input analyst. Fine, fantastic, you know. How are you finding the weather today? Oh, it's a little bit. It's a little bit cold. It plays upon my knee a lot. Oh, when it's a bit slippy as well. People don't want to know that. Again, too much information. A lot of people just want the bare bones of information. When I was working with, and I had a team, um, it was the same for me because I was like, if we're working, what I want is something very quick and very to the point. If we're at work, outside work, it was completely different. Outside work, I liked the detail, but inside work, if you're a lifeguard coming in and it was like, oh, this has happened. Yep, brilliant. Do this. Fix it by this. Go. And it was just about snap, fast decisions. And that's where it changes. So you've got your personal and your work life. And I think there is a very big difference there. I mean, I'm willing to accept any answer when I ask you, how are you? How are you feeling today? I'm willing to accept any answer. Whereas a lot of people don't like it if you say, I want to die today. So it's trying to reset that mindset for so many people. And I mean, even your closest friends, even your best friends, can sometimes not respond well to that answer because they don't know what to do, they don't know how to affect it, and it's not their fault. It really isn't their fault. It draws me to a story when I was working at Butland, and I asked every customer how their holiday was, how what they got up to last night, and everything along those lines. And it depended on, like on various things, which questions I asked them. I tried to switch it up so it didn't sound too set in its ways, like you get when you go to a supermarket till. But one person replied with, my mum had a stroke last night. That's why the ambulance was down here. I was like, oh shit, that's not good. However, I stammered, I stuttered. I was like, how's they feeling now? Can I do anything for you? Can I help you with anything, etc. So, and I tried to work my way through it as best as possible. The person in the back was absolutely laughing her tits off because she had warned me this was going to happen to me at one point. By being too friendly, you open yourself up to getting answers that you don't like. And this is the same for those questions. How are you? What you been up to? What you up to tonight? You open yourself up to that kind of thing. And that shock when you get an answer you don't expect, can be very, very hard. They did come back to me by the end of the holiday and thank me for actually being somebody who actually cares about customer service, who cares about people, and things like that. So I was kind of happy with that. And he was like, I work in the customer service industry, and you're one of the best examples of customer service because it felt like you actually cared. And I went, I do kind of care. Yeah, but that's the thing that but that's the thing about all that. But let's move on now, and let's look together at the Mayo Clinic, which is a resource on the internet. Um, so what should you say, or how can you reply to the phrase "Okay, so you don't want to be alive"? Okay, so someone says to you, "I don't want to be alive." What can you say? The Mayo Clinic lists these. How are you coping with what has happened in your life? Quite open, quite so it gives them a lot of chance to talk. Do you ever feel like giving up? Are you thinking about dying? Do you have any plan or access to? Very good questions, and it allows you to start that conversation. It gives you time. It also gives you time to look up numbers, and obviously, I will put the suicide crisis numbers down underneath the video. And they do mention not to leave the person alone, which is kind of essential, and because if you leave someone alone, that mind can clock over 2 to a dozen. What would I say? I remember when I first hit quite low, I was sent to play pool with one of my best friends, and it was absolutely amazing. So maybe off to play a random game, chat, or maybe even fall to sleep on a video call with them, because you know what? That's all I might need. As I said, Google the Wikipedia page for the country's suicide crisis lines. Overall, though, well, even though we've been through all this, and as we talk, I want to say this. I love we have these societal norms, these questions that we ask. I hate the fact that we don't know how to reply to them because we don't know how people want us to reply. And that's why we have to be honest. That's why we have to be honest. If we're asking people, and as a streamer myself, if I ask you how are you, I want the honest answer. Even if you've got to DM me the honest answer, I want the honest answer always. If you can say to me, I do not want to be alive now, and I will try and help you through that. I will never judge you for saying those lines. For many streamers, though, they tag mental health, and I don't feel they have that support there. I don't feel that they want to help people. I feel they use the tag to pull people in, and I think that's kind of sad because as soon as you, I've seen a few streamers with mental health in their tags, and they've been on Twitter these video clips, and someone's came in and said such and such has happened. When they're asked what people have been up to, I've just been and my mum died, been to hospital, mum died, and they go, oh, you've trauma dumped. Well, you've asked them the question, you've opened the door. You know, there's no such thing as trauma dumping if you open the door. If you open the door to that question, there is no such thing as trauma dumping. And if it's a mental health reply, and you've got mental health in your thing, take mental health out your thing right now, because that is not trauma dumping, that is a valid feeling. Streamers aren't meant to be therapists, though, I will say that. They're just there to be playing, they're just as entertainers, playing video games, talking, chatting, in the hot tub, wherever it may be. So, in short, how do I want to end this? And how do I want to summarize? Please, please, please try and seek help when you get low. Don't put all your eggs into one basket. There's lots of baskets out there. There's lots of suicide crisis lines. You got your friends, you got your family, and you've got lots of people. I get that sometimes it's hard to reach them people, and I get that sometimes that at the point of you going and feeling it, you're not gonna use those protections, and that's absolutely fine. I respect you, each and every single one of you. I get if you're honest, you may lose friends, and that's why it's important to understand which friends can be trusted with the truth and the honest truth. Some friends will come, some friends will go. We all live in chapters of our lives. And as part of that, unfortunately, some people will leave our lives. Also, I would like to say as a final thought, I will never judge you on your decisions you make when you are low, happy, or in between. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Please have yourself a fantastic day and enjoy. Goodbye.